we are. Hello, welcome to another episode of the Razcast, a podcast we run every single week, every Saturday.
Do you not have a
Every
soundboard for this yet?
single, no, I don't. I need
Oh my
like some.
God. You have a
Oh
Stream
wait,
Deck, don't you?
I think we have it on Discord, right? Like, hang on,
I
can't you
don't
do
know.
like air horn? Well, check this out.
Yeah.
There we go.
Like that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. You need that kind of shit, or like a round of applause.
Well, I think there's an applause,
You've
right?
actually gone full radio DJ now.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Is this an option on
Wait,
Discord or
what
is
about
it?
this one? What is this
Keep
one?
moving. We've taken the
Yeah,
damage.
there you
There we
go.
go. But welcome in. My name is Razbora. This is our podcast. I have Mr. Fresh Baked Goods over here.
Whoa.
Oh, look
Is this
at that.
I don't even know how you guys
Yeah,
are doing
he's
this right
doing
now.
it.
Yeah.
And then our esteemed guest, Mr. Wild Bill. Woo! Oh, there you
There
go.
it is,
Look, he's got
there
an
it is.
applause and everything.
Yeah.
So if you guys are brand new to the Razcast, again, we run it every single Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern. We talk about all things gaming, more specifically Hell Loose from time to time. But Hell Loose has been all the drama recently, as you probably know. So who better than Fresh Baked Goods and the guy who watched it with me, Wild Bill, to talk about the amazing trailer, to say the least, from the other day. So let's go ahead and first off, introduce Wild Bill and go ahead and get to know him a little better. Wild Bill, welcome to the show. Woo! All right, first time on here. So, Bill, who are you?
Oh god, I'm not good at this. I do YouTube videos about how let loose, but haven't really done any for the last year. But
You were like the first one though. I would say you're the first like hella loose content creator. In my
do you
mind.
reckon?
Yeah, I think so.
It's probably started about update 7, I think. way
7.
back
Wow.
when. But I've been playing from update 4, I think. So I've seen everything. I've seen enough.
Enough to know the dark
Yeah.
times and the good times, and recently have been pretty
Everything
dark, huh?
No, I don't think so. This is what I think it's fine. I don't know what everyone's freaking out about. It's like
That's crazy.
the game has been in a shit way the whole time, and then it gets a bit better, and then it's a bit shit, and then they fix it, and then they add something, and it's shit, and they fix it. It's just like a live service game at this point.
Yeah, I mean
But I
that's what
guess-
they're going for, right?
Yeah, I guess I got it in early access, and when they made it a full game, I was like, I mean, it's still not a full game. I don't know why they're able to call it that.
Yeah, I don't really understand that either. Like why they went from like out of early access when it was still like very broken. What was it?
Yeah.
Probably
2020?
easier to sell a fully released game.
Yeah, I guess.
I then say like you're selling an early access game to somebody.
I don't know. But yeah, so tell us about like your channel, kind of like what it is, like how you got into YouTube and stuff like that.
I was just very bored in lockdown and was playing a lot of Hell Let Loose, and I wanted to make like stuff that Husk is doing really,
Oh
and
yeah.
like found a couple of games with some really funny guys, and there was like a good couple of videos, and then it's like finding those people is just so rare. They're like gold dust, and then started getting into competitive Hell Let Loose, and then started making more like in-depth sort of videos about it, but try and keep it fun, whatever. But yeah, I like all the. I don't know. It's just such a weird game. You've got all these rules around it, and it's really simple. It's really complicated when you first start, but it's actually really simple. And most of the game revolves around the people that you play with, just trying to like figure this thing that you've done a million times out, but with new people in like public games. And it's just pain every time.
There you
It's
go.
like-
Hell
but,
Loose.
but it's like fun. It's like you go
Yeah.
play a game where like Battlefield or even Squad or whatever, and you just don't get that same like pain
Yeah.
of like trying to figure stuff out, and it's a bit addictive.
Yeah. I think Hell Loose is one of those things where it's fun to try to solve problems while you're playing, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's kind of like a huge thing in Hell Loose is like you're trying to put there's your spawns up, you're trying to go ahead and rotate on people, and you're trying to solve and problem solve while half your team is just like blitzkrieging and then complaining that they're stream sniping, right? And they're just not building anything.
Yeah.
It's always funny you hear people like complaining how you're comparing Hell Let Loose to like other games. Like it's always like Battlefield Postscriptum. You never hear about people talking about like lemmings and shit. I feel like the more I play Hell Let Loose, the more it's like, dude, you gotta include lemmings in the conversation because that's how you win Hell Let Loose. You gotta start thinking about it like lemmings, where it's like, guys, I mean, I don't know, like you're younger than us. Did you ever play lemmings as a kid? Like, do you know what we're talking about right now?
I've never heard of that.
Maybe a better. I think about it as League of Legends. I don't play League of Legends, but you got the bot lanes, and they just smash into each other.
So
and you're like, garrisons are like the start of your bot lanes, and you build them, and then they just start smashing into each other.
So
and then Lemmings, you have to come in, clear them out.
Lemmings is like one of the earliest computer games ever, dude. And it was just a trail of these little fucking human creatures. And they just kept walking, and you had to like put like blocks or like stop a lemming, and that would control the direction they go. So it's like being successful in Hell Let Loose is like played lemmings because you just have to control where all the blueberries go. It's very fascinating when you look at it that way.
Yeah, definitely when commanding, it's like,
oh, you have to.
I'll delete red Garys. I'll not build any red Garys until you've got like 5 blue Garys, and then you don't even need them sometimes.
No,
because the enemy team just try and flank, and your lemmings just go straight.
Send your lemmings in. Yeah.
There was a video I watched, or a clip I think Ryan posted in our admin the other day, where this guy was like, "I don't believe in garrisons. They're just useless. Like, I can just easily flank this and just put my OP down." I'm like, what? He's like, if it's so easy, why don't you go do it? He's like, I'm one man. It's like, well, then you're not helping.
What? He's at like stage 1 of Hell Let Loose. Like, there's like phases you go through playing the game. Like, you start out like thinking everybody else is wrong, and then you start learning what's important, and then eventually you just get to like acceptance of your team blowing ass, and you just like, okay, this is my life now. And that's when you reach peak Hell Let Loose, when you can just accept the chaos and people just fucking not knowing what's going on, and you just vibe.
Yeah, accepting like you're going to lose.
Yeah, like you could tell as soon as the game starts, like this is not gonna go well.
Yeah, and then if you do quite well, you're like, wow, never saw that coming, and it's a nice surprise, right? Yeah. Expectations.
That's definitely like a Hell Let Loose vet right there. Like that's the attitude.
Yeah.
I love those games where you're just getting railed over and over for like 3-4 games in a row. You're about to lose, and then at the last second your team just flips it because like for some reason the stars just align, and your team's like, wait, more Garys equals more wins, and less Garys equals less wins. Oh, what? What? It's like just insane.
And then they do that, and then the next game they'll go back to the shit.
Like, hear me out. Like, I was so good last game. Yeah, exactly.
You mean I have to do it? Oh no, that's not happening.
God, there's this game I played, I think like a month or 2 ago, and it was at Hill 400, which, if you don't know me, Hill 400 is my least favorite freaking map.
Worse than SMDM?
No, it is the worst map, period.
Damn.
I hate Hill 400.
You don't like SMDM?
I don't like SMDM. We can get into that.
What?
I hate that map. Yeah. I hate that map.
He does have a good point of why he doesn't like it.
I'll elaborate.
Let's talk about it,
So real quick, so Hill 400, literally just terrible. Everyone's so bad. And then like I built something, I can't remember. It was like 30 to 40 garrisons. It was just an ungodly number. And Adam and Bard were on the other team, and they were just dropping our garrisons. Everyone's like stream sniping, blah, blah, blah. Like, meanwhile, I am the only one building garrisons. The only one. No one's building garrisons. So like, I'm on like one full side of the map, hoofing it as fast as I can to the other. And like, 2-3 minutes go by, and they start taking down that garrison, and then by the time I get to the next garrison, they've taken down another garrison. You know what I'm saying? Because there's 2 people on recon, taking down 2 garrisons at once. And I put it on another garrison. They're like, oh, we have no garrisons. I'm like, please help me. And so
Classic Hell Loose.
it was terrible. And so one thing led to another. We somehow didn't lose 5-0. Like we held it at 2-3. At the next game, Bard and Adam come over to my team, and I was like, guys, this is the worst team I think I've ever had. And they're like, no, it can't be that bad. We wait for a second, we put some nodes up, get in a Panther, start up the Panther, drive the Panther out of spawn, we lose. 7-minute game. It was the fastest game I've ever seen. The fastest game I have ever seen in Hell Loose. It was terrible. But that's what sometimes my experience in Hell Loose is. But SMDM, dude, I don't enjoy it, man. I just don't.
What's wrong with it?
I feel that when I have fun with Hella Loose, it's when I'm able to rotate and have different type of engagements and move around a lot. With SMDM, I always play the middle of the map. No matter what objective it is, I always play dead center every time. That hill in the center of the map, you always have to take that. And that's kind of how I'm feeling LL Main is, where LL Main has that one mountain range in the middle that you have to take every time. And I'm starting to notice that, where I feel like you can still flank around in LL Main to be effective, but you still have to always take that. That's how I feel like SMDM plays. Telling you, every time. I always go to the same spot.
But you go in a tank. That's a good tank map, isn't it?
If you're going center, every time. Every time.
Maybe try something different, and then you might
that's
enjoy
the thing,
it.
though. I do, and then
It's got to be
doesn't-
Pierre's farm, I think. Like that one on the right.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's because what you're saying, if it's AA or dugout, then it's just
You're
gonna be
always
that hill
playing the
in
center.
between them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it is Pierre's farm, you can go right side of the map. That I do like that, because there's some good hedgerows, but man, I'm not a fan of it.
You like Kharkov though. You like running.
I love
across-
Kharkov. Yes, but Kharkov,
Okay.
there's plenty of different lanes. Each lane
Okay.
feels so different. For example, when you're on, the windmill area, the far windmill, that plays totally different than the center map. Because center map, you can't necessarily see that far, and then you have to go main road, right? And you have to use those dead tanks. Or the far side, you have the huge cliff or the ravine. That's totally different. That's why I like Kharkov. It's different. SMDM, I go to the middle every time. Every time.
I think
It's a
like the one-
great recon vehicle tank map. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
Kharkov?
I remember.
No.
SMDM?
SMDM. Yeah.
I can see that.
It's really easy to get behind people on that map. Like
Yeah.
it's so easy to destroy garrisons on that map.
Yeah.
It's crazy. You can because they're always in the same spot. That's one of those maps where it's garrisons are always in the same spot.
Yeah.
Especially 'cause
Always.
it's a popular seeding
And you
map
can get
too.
some good sight lines on them as well from quite far back as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. It's nice.
SMDM, the what is it? The gardens or that little cemetery or whatever
Yeah,
in the middle?
yeah.
What is it? Is it gardens?
It's gardens.
Gardens? Yeah. Gardens always.
Yeah. I'm at
Yeah.
the point now where it's I like I don't think there's one. I mean, Remagen's probably my least favorite, but I'll still play it. But there's no
Remagen's
Hell Loose.
fun when the center point
Yeah.
is
Yeah,
the
bridge.
objective.
But there's
Yeah.
no map now where it's I don't necessarily dislike it.
Hill
Like,
400
it's got-
every time. I hate it.
I kind of like tanky on Hill
hate- I
400.
hate
It's,
Hill
fu- it's,
400.
it's hard. That's how I like it.
I don't like it.
It's fun. If you get a good team to play with, that map could be fun.
Bill, what do you think makes a good map versus a bad map?
Cover. Basically, there's just no.
Not a
there's
Foy guy.
There's 5 maps with, or I don't know, 8 maps with no cover,
Yeah.
and you're like, it's fun for tankers, but
Mm-hmm.
infantry is shit.
Yeah.
And,
I totally understand why people hate Foy. I love Foy
Yeah.
because it's fun playing tanks, but I totally understand why people hate Foy.
Yeah.
Same with actually no, that's not true. I actually like Kursk infantry. I don't know. I don't get that argument.
Kursk Knight infantry is really good, actually.
I like
That can get
Yeah.
intense. When you're going
Yeah.
through the fog and you guys just get 25, 50 feet away, and you're like, oh shit. You're just huge waves of people. That's fun.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird with those open maps, though, isn't it? I think we've all learnt how to play them a bit better as infantry and just go, yeah, there's no point trying to beeline into the circle. You're just going to get shot. and then it actually forces people to get more map control, like so it spreads everything out a lot more. But on some maps, it's like on like Foy West Bend, it's like you have to
Death.
just keep going in that
Death. Yeah.
Yep.
forest.
I've had some really good
So-
battles there though. Like I worked with Artie one time. We did like rolling artillery. So we like rolled the artillery up, 10, 15 meters each time. And we'd like push up, push our OP, push up, push our OP. That was super fun. You can
Yeah.
have some really good moments in Foy, I feel like, even as infantry.
Yeah, it's almost
Should we
like when
talk
you-
about
when you work as-
artillery?
Oh God,
Oh, God. Yeah. Go
Because
for
there's no changes in the
it's not coming.
dude.
for-
It's-
If it ever is coming, it's not
just
coming for a long time.
mad. I just don't
Dude.
understand it. Like
Well, what's your opinion
just-
on RT first?
I fucking hate it, and it is the reason why I stopped playing competitively, because all the conversations were about RT,
RT, yeah.
and it was 3 guys on RT, 2 guys defending it. You had to make all these plans to drop supplies at the start of a game, to build barricades, and then you had tank. You're using another guy to snipe their RT with a tank, and then someone building an AT gun to shoot the tank that's sniping your RT, and you're using like a quarter of the team for RT,
Yeah.
and you're like, this is fucking boring.
It's
but it-
easily
it-
one of my least favorite parts of the game.
Yeah.
Probably the least, honestly. Now I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, it's just
yeah.
it's just mad, and it's
Yeah.
so easy to at least just nerf it a bit, just make it more expensive,
Yeah.
or make it, I don't know, 10 munitions or whatever,
Yeah.
and
It's
then
just- I
at
don't
least
know.
try it, see what happens.
I
And
hate
there'll
that
be loads
there's
of arguments in command channel about someone using RT, but
I
at the
just hate
minute,
that
there's
thing
no
that's like it takes no skill to do. Like you just look up a calculator and ping on the map and
I get
alright,
comments
yeah,
all the
R,
time
click R, click R, click R. Like
that people are like, "Man, I'm so good at Artie," and I'm like,
yeah, everybody is.
point and
It's just
shoot.
fucking-
Like, I don't know
yeah,
what you want- like,
yeah.
It's just like as long
It's
as you're
not
hitting
hard
the
at all.
objective, you're gonna get kills.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, it's not. It's dumb. You got to really
Man.
fuck up Artie to not be good at it.
you know what I hate the most, more than Artie, is the no camping Artie or HQ rule.
I don't know
Because-
how people play on servers.
I don't know. Like for
have
Foy,
those
for
rules,
example,
dude.
you just can't not camp Artie.
Yeah, you
Because
have to.
especially
Yeah.
on the German side, it's impossible. Like, sorry, like if you're American attacking the German Artie, because there's that wide open run you have to make. So if you have one person in a tank there just watching, like you literally can't get to Artie at all. Like you just can't.
Yeah.
I don't know how people play on servers that have those rules. I just can't imagine. We did it like once. That was like a year ago now, and I've never looked back.
Yeah. How do you even like admin that? You'd have
It's a fucking pain. I mean, we get so many ping. I think it's that regular of a rule. We get like
It is
several
It's on a lot
pings
of
every day on our server.
servers.
Like people to being like, "Oh, we're camping at HQ spawns." I'm like, "Oh, good luck with that. Like, have fun.
Mm.
Like,
It's
know,
not
somewhere else.
yeah,
built
go
some
play.
carries.
Yeah, we give them links to like Easy Company servers. Like, you can go check this place out if you want.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, it's like I don't. People play on those servers so much that they expect it and everywhere now. Like,
What
I
do
don't fucking care.
Bill, what do you think would be like a good change to it? So you said like increase the time. I know mortars is a huge conversation.
Yeah, I mean, if they added mortars, just get rid of RT entirely. Like,
Yeah.
definitely don't have both.
Yeah.
And like mortars are fun, if they had like Mully's saying there, like a max range or something, so you don't have to go all the way to HQ, and then if they take a point, you have to move them up and that kind of stuff. That'd be great. That's
Yeah.
way more engaging than some guy sitting in HQ blasting away.
Can you imagine
But-
how much more fun Recon would be to play? If you didn't have
Exactly.
to- if you
God.
didn't
This
have
is
to worry about
another
that.
reason why I stopped playing competitive though, is the flares. And
Oh my god,
They
that's a
are
whole nother
really
thing, dude. That's
good.
a whole nother thing.
and they just took everyone's, like, the meta now is everyone just uses recon to flare,
Yeah,
like UAV online.
escape
And I'm
redeploy.
like, if that was my job in a game to escape redeploy, I'd definitely not play it.
Yeah.
It's just bonkers. I think, yeah, but that's like a competitive thing. I don't mind them. I think the game's in an all right place in like public games. Like
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
talking about really like niche stuff here, but
people don't. I mean, it's like people want to have fun rather than not necessarily win. People put fun for the most part ahead
Yeah.
of that. There's times when I'm playing Recon and be like, go deal with Ardio. Eh,
No,
we'll
no.
see.
Did you see that meme?
We'll see if I
Yeah,
get
yeah.
around to it.
It's like, if I go find the Garys and take
Yeah.
them down, don't worry
You
about
won't have to worry about it.
Artie.
Yeah. Let's see if I
Yeah.
get around to Artie. I'm not stressing. That sucks for
Did
you
you-
guys back there.
Yeah.
Did you see the meme on Artie right now on Reddit? Dude, it's fantastic. Look at this on the stream. Hang on. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
It's just great.
It's just so nice as well. You've just got like one other guy in the squad.
Yeah.
If you're playing sniper, Hell Let Loose is just a different game, isn't it?
You have no
Just-
cares in the world. Not a care in the
Yeah.
world. No responsibility.
So
Yeah.
funny. It's
You're
so
just
funny.
chatting to your spotter, relaxed. You have to build shit. Maybe like one red Gary every now and again.
I love Recon because it just gives you an opportunity to like take your time and kind of do what you want to do. And I recommend it for a lot of new players because it's like, lets them get kills for one. Because I remember those first couple of games, like you get no kills. A lot of people like lets you get kills, gives you the scope, like lets you get behind people and not have to play the meat grinder that is hella loose at times.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you're
It
dealing
is,
with Artie,
it is
it's
funny explaining to
frustrating.
people. Like, we were playing a match yesterday, and like we were talking earlier, the whole team wants to flank, and we just kept losing a point over and over again, so we would just let them walk in. I had to like explain to the team, like, listen, some of you guys aren't gonna like this, but you gotta die over and over again, and just keep pushing it. That's the only way this is gonna work if you want to win. It's funny how people don't realize that. Like, it doesn't matter. You just gotta get in there and die.
Yeah.
It's like when you get into the game, you look at the map and go in the space that people aren't, and don't just follow everyone else thinking that you're gonna punch a big hole through the line or whatever. It's like just spread out, and usually that big hole is in the meat grinder, but it's also like the shortest line to the point. So just get stuck in, find a gap, and get in it.
It's
Yeah,
people think their lives matter in Hell Loose. It's like, no.
No.
You mean nothing. Your cap weight is all you are.
It's just so funny because people are just they have such a misconception of like how the spawn system works and how map control works. Like people don't have any concept of map control a lot of the time. Like they don't know why you should hold that garrison over there and why that garrison is important. Because if that garrison goes down, they can just walk into the point. Like there's no logic behind that. But
it's all lemmings, dude.
It's so
it always comes back to lemmings.
So let's talk about some of the stuff kind of well, I think the trailer first. So you guys haven't seen the trailer.
You want to beat that horse a little more?
Yeah, let's just
I'm so over the trailer. Like, I was over it the minute I saw it. I just thought that is fucking stupid. Move on.
Yeah.
Raz, I watched it and I talked to Raz. I'm like, no, I guess I gotta make one video on it. And after that, I never looked back. I'm like, I got my few thousand views and I'm good.
I think the most important thing is that they went ahead and addressed it, and they went ahead and kind of moved past it. I do think the reaction from everyone was I mean, rightfully so in the sense that like it was bad, but it was a little extreme.
I showed you the comments. I was like, I don't know, Bill. Did any like doom and gloom comments start lurking in your shit? I was getting comments that were like essays long about how like Hell Loose is dying and stuff, and Team 17's a greedy corporation. And I was sitting here like, my God, this is from one dumbass trailer that didn't even include any gameplay.
No, I didn't. I put a really stupid video together, and I didn't put it out. But because it was kind of
the lost tapes.
It was kind of just like almost defending Team 17. And just being like, Black Matter weren't that much better. So this is just Hell Let Loose. This is how it works.
Nobody remembers Carentan. Nobody remembers Carentan.
Was bad.
It was unplayable. You couldn't play it
for like a year.
For
like a year, and then
nobody remembers that.
I mean, so much that every update, you could not name an update. You got update 8 where think about all the shit Nodes has been through. And update 8, you couldn't build any nodes if you're on your last point, and it
Yeah,
just you
yeah.
know, and that could happen in 10 minutes. You'd be 4-1,
Yep.
and then you play
90
next,
minutes of that.
you know, like the rest of the game on 1 point, and you can go anywhere, and you're like, and it goes to show like how unimportant resources are compared to like to building Garys
Yeah.
and like spawns. You know?
But hey, we got one trailer that was clearly not like
Yeah.
like a representation of the game. Which yeah, I could be upset about
Yeah.
that. But it's like you get one trailer that is clearly not representation. Everyone's
Yeah.
like, this game is
But-
fucking dead. Blah, 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 blah. I don't know. I
Yeah.
turned Hell Loose on immediately after the trailer and it was fine.
But yeah, it's
It's the same
exactly
game.
same as last
Same
week before
game.
the trailer. Yeah.
It's fine next time I turn it on too.
Yeah.
What I love about everyone's like comments, like they're all going fucking mental, but
Yeah.
all saying completely opposite things, and like going, "Oh, it's not realistic enough," but at the same time, like the Firefly isn't balanced properly, and the British guns are shit, you know, and they're trying to make it like COD or whatever. And you're
Yeah.
like, well, the British guns were shit,
Yeah.
so, but it's not balanced. So what do you want? Do you want historical accuracy or do you want a balanced game? And
We
it's
talk
like,
about this a bunch, dude. It's
Yeah.
people don't know what they want.
no.
Well, I think it's funny because I get comments and they're like, all right, we all agree the running speed is just way too fast, right? And everyone's like, yeah. And then I do a poll and I was like, is the running speed too fast? And people are like, no, it's great.
Yeah, they
It's like,
love
what?
it. Yeah.
It's like, I don't understand. So I think it's a little more nuanced than like those loud minority, because I agree the running speed needs work, but I don't
Mhm.
think the running speed is that it's too fast. It's that it's
Oh.
it's too fast, too quick. It just needs
Yeah.
to feel like you have weight and like needs an acceleration, where in real life you would have an acceleration, and that would stop a lot of the issues where like you dive and then like you're instantly back up and then you dive and then you're
Yeah.
you're sliding or the zigzags, right, that everyone's doing right now. So like I get it, those are definitely issues, but it's not like dead game. It's like,
When did
okay, we
update-
change a value. That's
when did
it.
It's
update
turning
14
into
come
Call of
out?
Duty.
Yeah.
When did update 14 come out? Was it even a month ago? Like, did it come out in May or June? I can't remember.
End of May, right? Like May
End of May,
25th.
And we're getting a patch next week, so we're getting a patch in less than a month that may fix this. It's like, come on, guys, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
it's normal as well.
Yeah,
Like maybe a week or two later than normally they get
it's just,
patch out.
yeah, it's just crazy how people like freak the fuck out these days about this shit.
Yeah, it's and then like there was like death threats, there was like crazy
Yeah.
stuff. Like people got,
Death threats.
oh yeah, it
Mhm.
was like batshit insane. Like well, are you in the war correspondent?
It was all in, yeah, it was all in the
No.
Hell Loose like
Mess
mess
hall.
hall kind of
Mess
shit.
hall got insane.
Yeah, it was nuts. It
Oh,
was pretty
yeah.
nuts. I watched that for a solid day while I was working. Like, this is
Dude,
all the entertainment I need today.
I
Like,
turned it on
I
the
was just
stream.
watching it, dude.
It was
it was-
rough.
It was wild. All of a sudden, these people that never gave a shit gave a shit.
Yeah, and Shad here in TikTok
Yeah.
says, I feel like the running acceleration is an issue, but tank speed in comparison needs fixing. I think we're all on the same page. Like
yeah,
I think
of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the main thing that people are just kind of overlooking is that whenever anything goes ahead and changes with the infantry, I think naturally it has to scale with the vehicles, because the vehicles and the infantry were in a fine spot before, but if you increase the speed of the infantry, you therefore have to scale that with the armor and vehicles
But
as
that-
well.
That's so weird that you have to scale the sprint speed with the vehicles. That shows how slow the vehicles are
Correct.
Yeah.
in this game.
Yeah.
It's
Absolutely.
mental. Like
Yeah.
you wouldn't get that in squad. They wouldn't, you know. If
Could you
squad
imagine
increased-
Postscriptum? Have you seen Postscriptum?
They
Jesus
fucking
Christ.
fly.
They
Yeah,
are
dude.
Tanks
so
go
fast.
so quick.
You could put a Puma in like fifth gear reverse, and it's going like
It's going like
60
50
kilometers. Yeah,
It's insane. It's ridiculous. Yeah, no, but the thing too is a lot of people that don't drive vehicles don't know how bad it lags. So like at times you can almost run as fast as the recon tank. Like it's like
Yeah.
insane.
How many of these people think complaining have ever actually, like you're saying, been in
Oh,
like a
never.
tank?
Never.
Like a lot of these people are like, that's not an issue. Like it's not an issue. It's
is.
like, well, yeah, you gotta get in
100%
a
it
tank
is.
to find out.
Yeah.
I love the Steam reviews as well. It's like played like 10 hours, and they're like, "This game is going in completely the wrong direction."
All right, I have a question for you two talking about Steam reviews. Do you think it was a smart decision to review bomb this game because of that trailer?
I'll let you start, Bill.
I think so. I think I don't. I wouldn't say death threats are good.
Yeah.
That's, but I think it's good to give Team 17 a fucking wake up call and go, this isn't Worms or whatever. You've bought a game for £40 million, and this is like fucking a bunch of World War II nerds that you're dealing with.
Mhm.
And like you've got to, this is what you're going to deal with. And, but it's a massive overreaction, but I'm glad everyone's kind of done it in a way.
No, I get that. It set the tone, I guess.
I think the thing is like, I definitely think it was an overreaction. Like, I get it. The game does need work. But yeah, death threats, like the review bombing, I don't think that really helps the issue. I think it's like voicing your opinion is important, and that'll get stuff done. Like, I think this trailer, at the end of the day, it might have done more good than bad, because in reality, it's like, okay, Team 17, is not untouchable. They're like, okay, we messed up. We got to fix stuff. We got to like go ahead and listen and like make sure we're showing that we're listening too. And I think that's kind of what this dev briefing was. But yeah, the review bombing, I don't agree with at all, man. It's like, doesn't. I saw someone on Reddit is like, this is the last time I'm touching Hella Loose, and it was like this 5-paragraph essay about how terrible it was. But like, look, I get it. We need to hold them accountable, but like, death threats are never holding anyone accountable. That is never the option.
Over trailer.
Ever. Like,
Over
that has
trailer.
nothing
Yeah.
to do with that's terrible. That is stupid. But yeah, I mean, I think there's definitely opportunity for sure, though. For sure.
Yeah. The weird thing with Hell Let Loose is it's like, it is realistic sort of, but it's fun. And it's like, it straddles that line. It's not hard. It's not milsim like
Yeah.
Postscriptum,
Yeah.
and it's not Battlefield. It's right in the middle. That's what makes it good. And it's like a tightrope the whole time. So it's like, you're going to piss people off,
Yeah.
whoever, but it's like, it needs to stay on that line.
The crowd that always makes me laugh is all the people saying it needs to be like Postscriptum. I
Yeah.
Go
always
play
like those.
fucking Postscriptum.
Yeah.
No one does.
Like
how
I
many
like
comments have you seen?
Postscriptum,
Yeah.
but it gets boring.
How many comments have you seen in the past week? Like, I'm just going back to Postscriptum. I'm not playing this. It's so funny when you check the Steam player accounts. Like I've been checking it every day in the past week to see if anyone actually went and played Postscriptum. Nobody did. It's like, I can't believe it. I see dozens of those comments every day, and it's like, dude, you're telling this game developer to make their game like another game that nobody's playing. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, stop.
Like,
Let Hella Loose be Hella Loose.
I love Postscriptum, but I think like we don't necessarily need to make it like Postscriptum. I think we can just take some good assets from Postscriptum, like audio, dude. We have to have audio in Hella Loose. Like, I go play Postscriptum, come back, and I'm like, man, this game sounds terrible. But I mean, like,
the second you start changing gameplay aspects, though, it's like,
yeah, I don't think
Postscriptum died for a reason. It's not because like developers gave up. The game's fine. It's you go play Postscriptum, it plays like Postscriptum. It's not like it needed to be crazy further developed. So it cracks me up when people are like, you should make your game like this game that people stop playing.
Yeah,
and it's like,
Kronk
you should keep doing Hella Loose.
Yeah,
I tell you what though, if Postscriptum just got Hell Let Loose's warfare mode and put that in, that would be worth it. Because like my whole thing about any first-person shooter is the game mode. It's like I like Battlefield Conquest, and Postscriptum and Squad. I just don't like the game mode. It's like they're all like offensive or whatever. They haven't just quite nailed that.
I also couldn't tell what fucking game mode I was ever playing when I was playing Postscriptum. I don't know what's going on.
And you go, well, just take the sort of warfare, garrisons. You don't have to dig shit up. Here's your spawn points. Bang it in Postscriptum. See what that does to the game. Just give it a new game mode. I think that's what makes most of these games good, right? Is the game mode. They're all not too dissimilar.
Well, it's like
Yeah.
the thing that makes Hell Loose so special is it's like there's no ticket system.
Yeah.
You cannot add a ticket system to Hell Loose. That's when it starts
No.
getting bad. That's when
Yeah.
it starts getting real bad, and that's like the biggest thing. It's like that's why it's so good, and also why it's such a bad game. It's
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you don't matter in it, but at the
Yeah.
same time, it's like it's more forgiving and more casual.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like that's the thing with Hell Loose is it is an approachable, realistic game, and I think that gets lost in the community where they're like, no, it's realistic, and it's like, look, like there's tigers, in like every every map, like there's not the right vehicles. I think, however, based on their game plan of like 1 year per war, considering they had like less than a year to work on Main, which we all know is not like historically accurate, right? I think the idea probably down the road is going to be something along the lines of like building out those different factions. And one of the things they mentioned in the roadmap was like having the actual faction that was there as the playable faction, kind of something similar to what Postscriptum does. So I think that'll be nice to where you have like Panzer threes instead of a Tiger tank or whatever the case is, and so on and so forth. But I know LL Main was a Black Matter like creation, and like Team 17 worked on it, but I don't think it was to the point where they were like gonna sit on it for another year or a year and a half to get it like to where it needed to be in the reference of historical accuracy. Because when was LL Main in the real war? Wasn't it like 1940, 1941, somewhere in there?
42 maybe.
42? Yeah. So like this
Sure.
year is like 1939, right? So if this year is 1939 and are they going to sit on it another 2-3 years? No.
Well, also, the bridge was announced so fucking long
correct.
ago. It was on last year's roadmap. It's like you kind of
Correct.
have to just release it. Like, it is what
So
it is.
I think as far as like historical accuracy, and like Rusty was kind of mentioning this, I think like it will come in time. And the way I'm kind of looking at Hell Loose at the moment is like I'm looking at No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky, no, I don't think No Man's Sky and Hell Loose are comparable in the sense of launch. No Man's Sky was terrible, but in the longevity of the game, I think
had
that's
fun with
the
that game.
idea.
I
No,
used to
it
get
was-
ripped
it's-
out of my mind and just sit on my couch and like just play
Whoa.
it.
Yeah.
But-
Yeah, space.
But like in the longevity,
the-
right?
the-
Like
the
it was
thing is
fleshed
with-
out.
With historical accuracy, it's just a hole that you can just fall into, and you're like, where does it end?
Yeah.
Like, where does it start? Where does it end? Because none of this shit makes any sense. Because it's 50 versus 50, and you pop out the ground, and
teleporting around everywhere, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, God.
and you're like, well, I don't know, it's just bonkers. Like, wars weren't really decided on 50 versus 50
Just
battles.
make sure
or
it's
anything
fun.
like that.
That's
Yeah,
all I
make it
ask.
fun.
Make
Yeah.
it fun. That's all I care about.
And
Yeah.
it's like Battlefield 1. That was
Yeah.
fucking great. And I think everyone says that game was great.
Yeah.
Like, even people who like the sort of more hardcore stuff. And then you get Beyond the Wire, and it's a piece of shit. And it's like, well, you've got to
People
still
don't know
make
what
it
they want,
fun.
dude.
You've still got to make
Yeah.
it fun at the end of the day.
It's like people want a realism, then they get Kursk, and it's like
Right.
that's what you
like
get
Purple
when you
Heart
want a
Lane,
realistic
too.
map. Yeah.
Like
It's
I
like-
keep using that reference. Purple Heart
Yeah.
Lane won by a fucking landslide on the rework. Purple Heart Lane and Kursk are like some of the most realistic maps because Purple Heart Lane is literally a road, and they added some other bridges and stuff that you can. No, in real life, like Gritson, he was doing a Google Earth with us one time in chat, and like he's one of the ones that made Purple Heart Lane. Like it is literally one road and nothing. There's
Yeah.
no buildings, nothing. So
Yeah.
like he added buildings, right? And then, like I think, yeah, maybe adding some more stuff around it, like maybe a little town or something like that, would make it more fun. And for me, it's just always gameplay over realism at the end of the day because it is a game. You can't teleport in real life. You have one life. You don't have artillery that's like, like able to recon you with a scout. That it's like there's a
Yeah.
lot of there's a lot of stuff that's not realistic.
I'll tell you what would be good if they had this small game mode or whatever. They should add back in the original Kickstarter game mode. Where,
Oh my God, I've only seen pictures of that.
yeah.
What is this?
So it's basically like Company of Heroes, and you
Every
play,
point,
like,
right?
and the maps would be so like diamond rather than, a rectangle. And yeah, all the points are live, and you take them to get resources, and so you're fighting for resources and blah blah blah.
Could you
'Cause I
imagine
think-
trying to explain that to the current player base?
No, not at all. Not at all. But I think it would make those people happy because it's just a game mode at the end of the day, isn't it? I don't understand why they don't just like put these game modes in. Like it's so easy.
Well, that's correct. That's another good point. It cracks out how people are like, "This game mode is going to ruin the game." It's like it's not. Just don't play it. Like
Yeah.
you know, it's like if anything,
It's like when you go to
Warfare.
Battlefield,
Yeah.
like you don't go to Battlefield to play gun game, but you
Yeah.
can. You go
Yeah.
to Battlefield to play
Yeah.
Conquest, right? Like
Now
Yeah.
the people that are currently playing Warfare that don't want to play Warfare for what it is will play this instead, and Warfare might get better. But
Yeah.
it doesn't hurt anything. But having these modes,
but like
I
sorry,
mean, it
go
hurts
ahead.
us having to get another server. That's about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. So like what do you guys think about the new game mode? So as we know, so let me kind of preface real quick before we get into it, like what the new game mode is. So the new game mode is called Objective, and essentially, as far as we know, what'll happen is you'll spawn in. It's something like 25 versus 25. There's one map. It's the Battle of Brecourt Battery, essentially. Like Captain Winners, Lieutenant, I forget it. Winners and his team go in, which will be you guys, right? You go in, and there'll be the artillery batteries that you'll have to plant explosives on and destroy. It's designed as a smaller, shorter game mode to be more approachable when you don't have, obviously, the hour and a half. So what are your guys' initial thoughts, and what do you think, like, maybe pros and cons of kind of this game mode?
Sure. Yeah, I'll play it. I don't know. Like,
I played it once.
Touche.
I
Yeah,
tried
see how it
anything
goes.
once. Yeah.
I'm sure I'll play it, and then I'll go right back to Warfare.
Yeah.
There you go.
I just don't understand how it's going to work. I really want to see it because I just
Dude.
don't think it will work.
It's
at all.
all got to come down to map design. It's like that's really what it is. If it's a
I
fun
think it's
map
more
to
than
play
that,
on,
to be honest, because I mean, you won't have you may or may not have garrisons and outposts. Like, how will that
Yeah.
translate?
if they can make it like Battlefield Rush, I think it'll be fun. If they can make it like very, very
Is-
focused and like, a little more intense.
But you have one MG42, and the time to kill is so fast in Hell Loose. I think that's the
I don't know.
difference.
Gotta try it and find out. Zigzag now, Raz.
Oh shit, I forgot.
Brecourt's just that point is just a big open
Yeah.
field.
Yeah, they
Correct.
gotta really. It all comes down to like how much they change it, and if they change it to where it could be fun, like,
Do you
It'll be
think they're
fun.
changing it, or are they?
fuck if I know. The
Yeah.
trailer didn't tell me
Probably
anything.
Yeah. It might be taking everything out. Yeah.
Yeah, it might just
Maybe
be an
not.
open field with a couple shitty buildings. We'll see.
Yeah,
Oh god.
I feel like
yeah,
it's
it's all the
interesting
spawn
concept.
stuff. I just don't understand, and I
Yeah.
don't understand like you're probably just going to stand across a field shooting at people and just dinging
Yeah.
each other.
It
for
very
20
well might be
minutes.
like a seeding match. Like, it just might be like you just show up and shoot each other in the face and just do that for like 20 or 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just curious. I think it will do better on console than it will on PC. That's for
What?
sure.
Why do you say that?
Well, so I say that because on I
What
mean,
are you
you know,
saying
but-
about console play?
Yeah, what are you saying about console players?
So what I'm saying about console players is that they're just not organized at all, right? So like it'll be a little more approachable for them as compared to like so for example, in console, people love offensive. Love it. It's their favorite game mode and they hate warfare. Where in PC, it's definitely the opposite. So I find it interesting because you just have lemmings, right? Like you're saying, like rush the point. And I think it'll be a little more engaging for people to be able to like less flanks, more just like killing and like pushing up. So I think console will really enjoy it.
I think console must be really hard to play Hell at Loose because
I can't
I'm
imagine.
like looking at the map, I'm like marking stuff all the time. You just can't do that with little.
It is
joysticks
pain.
and whatever.
On
Yeah.
top of
So-
that, it's
so it probably
unmoderated
makes-
servers.
It probably makes the game a lot better playing it on console or like a lot more hardcore.
You don't even
Yeah.
know. Like, it's like you just don't even know.
Yeah,
Like, you don't even know what you need to be doing, and it's probably like just bliss.
yeah.
Like you're
Yeah.
ignorant to everything.
Jesus. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think it's a good idea to have different game modes. I really do, because it kind of splits the player base up a little bit to people that like want to play, warfare and offensive, as compared to people that don't. And so it'll basically get rid of those people. Like that's my thought
Mm,
process behind it. Like
Yeah.
people that don't want to play the objective and just want to go run and gun. Sure, you have a place to do that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Yeah,
I,
I
I
don't
don't
think it
mind.
hurts.
I don't mind offensive every now and again. I've sort of grown to like it a bit now that those offensive maps have taken ages to sort of make playable, like Omaha
Yeah.
and all
Yeah.
that stuff. They give you a tank now and stuff. Before it was like you don't get any armor until you
Right.
get off the beach and you just get shredded. Like I think Utah's still pretty bad, but
Oh yeah, it's brutal.
Well, Fleazy here
Face.
says Hell Loose is not bad on console. No, I'm not saying it's bad on console. What I'm saying is that on console,
Like about you as a person.
yeah, no. Well, what I'm saying is on console, the experience is inconsistent. That's what I think the most important thing is about console.
Yeah, because
And-
you can't join a regular server, right? There's no
Correct.
servers with regular.
Yeah.
Like
There's
we
no
join
server
the
browser.
Yeah, I join the same server every day, and it's like half the people in there are the same people every
Correct.
time.
So you have very consistent experiences. And this is for every single server. Like every single server has its consistent experience. But if say we were to go into like a public Hell Loose server, yeah, we're gonna have the same experience we are on console. But like for clans, I think that's if you're on console, I would say, and I don't say this a lot, but like or at all for PC, but like if you want to have a consistent experience, join a clan on console, because you'll be able to play with people that work together and want to work together. Where on PC, you don't have to join a clan. I would say just join a community, and like ours, right? We have like the Beer House or Soul Sniper, right? Or Glows or whoever, right? Like there's communities that are great that have people that talk, that play on that on a consistent basis. And I think that's the biggest difference between console and PC, is that they have people that play on that consistently. And that's why I think you just don't have as good of games on a regular basis, just because it's just random people that have never played together ever, you know? Like, yeah, you might have Loka here and there, but whatever his name is. But yeah, so that's my thoughts. But yeah, so developer briefing 190. Have you guys read this?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah,
yeah.
So they kind of
we're
dive.
sorry.
Yeah.
That's all I can think about is the South Park episode. Yeah.
So do you want to give a quick little synopsis of kind of like what it's about? I mean, you pretty much did, but
I mean, it's just like they're listed everything that people have been complaining about in the past weeks. For the most part, there's still things like the bigger things like loadout bug, grenade bug, stuff that's been around for a while. The
Yeah.
only thing that I didn't like that's not in there that I needed something in there was about the stutters that came up. There's no mention of that,
Mm.
which is bad. Like that's like really bad now.
Do you think that's that analytics thing?
I think so. Well,
Just like remove it.
dude,
The-
I mean, the
the what?
server problems definitely came because of the game analytics shit.
Yeah.
That put
Yeah.
because
Yeah, yeah,
so this goes back, I think, to like when they were Black Matter was doing the PTEs. Those servers always ran like shit,
Yeah.
and that's because they were doing game analytics on that. I'm pretty sure is what the word
Oh.
on the street was. So now Team 17 started doing that in 13.5, and then it's like the server just performance has been god awful, and I think they're just stressing on it.
I don't think I've ever
Yeah.
had like issues before 13.5.
Yeah,
Maybe
the
like
stuttering, I don't
once.
know what's causing that. That's fucking bad.
It was
though.
bad. Like it's
Yeah.
it's like really bad at times. And I mean the lag is just terrible.
It's
So
calmed down a
bad.
little bit in the past week, I think, for me at least. Like I've only had, God, I don't even know. When the patch first came out, it was really fucking bad. But now in the past week, it hasn't. But the stutters every game, it's just like I don't even know what to do about it. And the fact that nothing's said in there is kind of a bummer.
Yeah. I found it was weird what they said about the Firefly being a bug.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's like
Wait, what
They just-
the Firefly being
go down to like known issues. It's like 1 and 2. It's like
sure,
the,
the
maps
British
and the
forces
Firefly.
Sherman Firefly tank's frontal hull can be penetrated using high penetration weapons, allowing players to destroy the tank from the front. Huh.
They're
No,
just
I
talking
thought
about the weak spots.
that was I thought that was supposed to be like that. I guess it's
I
not.
think it. I think. Well, they didn't know that.
This is the classic game of bug or feature when a new update comes out.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a bug. I think Black
It's a
Matter made
feature,
that for
yeah.
them and gave it to them, and they
Yeah.
were just like, okay, we didn't test it.
it's like when update 7 came out, I think, and got rid of Red Garys or whatever. But you also couldn't take out enemy Garys behind the lines, like 2 squares back.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a feature. They put that in the game because they wanted to stop Recon taking down Garys, because they didn't want, because like the game is now, like people don't build Garys. And they called that a bug, and that really pissed me off. Because I think there was a guy who was like in with the devs at the time, and he did a video like just as it came out saying, "Yeah, you can't take these Garys down," and and it's like,
Do you
There's
remember that
still-
bug?
just say you fucked up. Like,
Yeah, there's still one in
This
there
was-
where if you're on your last point, let's say like it's like 4-1 and you're defending your last point. If the enemy team builds a red zone in your last point, I'm
Still
pretty
there,
sure it
yeah.
still takes a long
Yeah.
time. I don't think that's ever been like mentioned.
no,
It's so crazy to me.
Do you guys remember
Stuff
that
like
that's
recon
been in the
bug?
game for like 4 updates. That has.
Yeah,
The recon
Yeah.
bug where they would put a spotter would put a garrison down. Oh, that was one of the
Yeah,
worst
that
bugs I've ever seen.
Oh,
that was just like that was
Oh, yeah,
13.5,
You,
wasn't it?
you had the bug
Was it
where
Was it 13?
13.5?
No, it was 13. It was
No.
13. It was 13.
Kharkov update?
Yeah, 13.
yeah,
That was last year,
Yep.
right?
yeah.
That was like a couple months
That was
ago.
Black Matter, yeah.
I feel like I've been playing Kharkov for a long time now.
That was one full update ago.
Damn. Yeah,
No,
that was bad.
That was last year, wasn't it?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
definitely last- yeah.
Maybe
That's
like
Probably
December
that was
last
probably
year, I think.
December. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that bug where if people exploded and their limbs collided or something?
Oh my god.
You
Well,
know,
yeah,
you got-
come on.
would
you
like,
crash
just
the
crashed
game or
everyone's
something?
game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here we are, we're complaining about a trailer, and that's going to be the end of the game. Meanwhile, we were crashed. You see a bombing run come in, and you're just like hands off the keyboard, like, well, here we
yeah,
go.
I do
Like,
remember that.
the game's about to crash.
Yeah.
That was
But nope,
funny.
the trailer's the end of the game.
Oh my god. There were some really bad game breaking bugs. Like, oh my god. I mean, Carrington, I think just the lag was the worst that I could remember.
Yeah.
And the well, I guess the Car 98 was pretty bad too. That was a really, really bad
That's
bug.
like embarrassingly bad. That's not like, that's
What
just
was
like
the car 98?
the double reload.
the double reload.
Oh yeah.
That was bad.
That was embarrassing. The fact that made it through.
I guess they're like, when they check for stuff, they're not did they change the reload animation for that or something? Did they do anything?
fixed
different?
No, they did it for the MP40.
Right. So it's like, I guess like
And the Grand,
probably-
right? The
they-
Grand.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Grand 2. Yeah.
it's like if they haven't changed it, like they're probably like, oh, I don't even need to check it. But then it's like, how does that even happen?
Yeah, the fucking butterfly effect and hell loose coding.
Yeah.
You change one thing down here, it's like something up here starts going wrong.
Yeah. I tell you what bug they need to bring back is when you're repairing, and then you just press tab, and then it carried on
Yeah,
repairing,
dude.
and then you could just chill out.
Mm-hmm.
That was a great bug.
I like that one a lot too.
Hell. Dude,
Oh,
some of
those
these
are the
bugs
days.
were bad.
I'm still agreeing to bring back fucking cupola shots and bag shots. I don't
Yeah,
care.
I
Bring
think that was
back.
the best iteration of
back.
tank gameplay and how that
Yeah.
was when
Yo.
it was bugged.
What do we think tanking should be like? Like, what do you think are some things
Oh,
that,
God.
that
Raz and I are preparing a whole manifesto about this, Bill.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes, we have we're working with a community, our community to
like a Google Doc ready to go?
Google Doc a full fucking manifesto changes, but to like
I think
keep
I
it
might have seen
within.
this, or I've
Yeah.
seen someone else putting something together. As
Yeah,
well.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's definitely been one in the works for a while, and it was handed to us, and we're like, no, we'll take it from here, I guess. So we're gonna start leading the charge on that. Something that's like
What's-
in the realms of current Hell Loose tanking. Keep it simple, but also more depth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weak spots. Weak spots were great.
Dude, you're preaching to the choir right now. That's
Yeah.
like I try to explain it to people when they want realistic tanking. Like, you don't want realistic tanking. You
No.
want what Hell Loose tanking used to be like, but in a more realistic way.
Yeah.
So,
I'm still in
Yeah.
favor of upping the speeds on all the vehicles, man.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
like
Yeah,
no,
massively.
fairly significantly too.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I think scaling is the minimum, but yeah, I really think my favorite tank battles, and I think most people can agree with this that are tankers, are medium tank battles because you can somewhat move those around.
Mhm.
The
Yeah.
recon tank battles are pretty funny too.
I won't.
They
So
don't last very
Chaos.
long.
No.
this would take a lot of balancing. So would we have something that you really have to dial in? What would you think? Obviously AT damage would have to stay the same, but what about tank on tank damage? If they just increased everything,
Yeah.
ignore the recon tank, increase everything by one shot. So like,
Don't ignore the recon too.
oh no, you want the recon tank to take longer to kill tanks? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, no.
No,
I think like
oh,
heavy
right,
on
yeah.
heavy tanks take like 3 shots. Obviously you'd have to adjust
Yeah.
repair speed and stuff, but like I can't imagine that to where like tanks actually had time to
That's
like,
weird. Weirdly, I said that to Gritson like
yeah,
ages ago as well. It's
yeah,
like,
it's
yeah,
like,
let the infantry kill tanks same pretty quickly,
yeah,
whatever.
I feel like it'd be way more dynamic rather than you get shot once and it's like maybe you reverse in, you
Yeah,
rep and you just roll back out, you get shot once and you reverse in.
yeah.
Oh, I wonder how that would play.
Hopefully they bounce and yeah.
Okay, that's another thing that I just want in games, like more ricochets and like tighter hitboxes. That's just like, my God,
Yeah,
that'd be a game changer.
I do
Like
like
if
the
if you didn't change the time to kill on tanks, like change like the angling, if you could
one
angle tanks.
one thing
Mm.
with Hella Loose though is I feel like the ricochets are not consistent. I don't know if that's just
Okay.
me, but I feel like there's a lot of times where like it's a sure shot and then it ricochets weirdly, or it isn't a sure shot and then it like ricochets into like the turret, or like it just bounces off, or I don't know.
It depends. It's like heavy tanks. I mean, it's so hard to even bounce a shot when you're in a heavy
Panther
tank.
towards the 76, you could ricochet pretty often.
Well, no, hear me out. Heavy tank on anything else that's not a heavy tank. It's
Oh,
like,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
just it just blows up instantly. But if you could fucking angle a medium Sherman to like bounce a heavy tank round, I think that'd be pretty cool. Like, you'd stand a chance and wouldn't die in one fucking hit.
Yeah. Mr. Obese says, "What about War Thunder mechanics?" I don't think that would
Absolutely
work in
not.
Hell Loose.
Nope.
I think keep
Nope.
it simple.
Keep it
Like,
simple.
It's approachable realism. That's
Keep it
Hella
simple.
Loose. That
Yeah.
like making it like War Thunder would be making it like Postscriptum, and you don't want to go ahead and change what the game is.
You don't want more chores in the game. You want it to be more fun. That's
Yeah.
what you want to look at. Make
Yeah,
it more
yeah.
fun and add more depth without making it chore like. Like you don't want to kill crew in Hell Loose because
No.
then you're just going to be driving back and forth between a garrison all day
Yeah.
in a tank, and it's like, what the fuck are we even doing here?
Yeah, like I think that's one of the things with Hell Loose is it's just it has to be approachable realism. I know people are like, "Oh, I want more realism," and it's like you don't
You want
like
more
Hell
depth.
Loose.
You want
Yes,
depth. You don't want
yes.
realism.
Yeah. Like Hell Loose is an approachable, realistic game. Has some realistic stuff, but it's more approachable than anything. Where the main realistic part is just the time to kill. That's like the most realistic part about Hell Loose. That if you get shot,
to an
you die.
extent, where you shoot
Yeah, I
someone in
mean-
the fucking foot and they just go, ugh.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
I tell you what though, with the British that came out and there was way more gun sway and stuff,
Mhm.
and I was like Nano is in your Discord the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a few weeks ago now, saying they need to add a bit more gun sway to make it harder to shoot people. And I'm like, yeah, I understand that, but they're balancing the British back to everything else now, rather than changing everything else to make it more.
That's something I
gun
mentioned
sway.
last
I mean,
week.
that's pretty much what they're doing with the Firefly to get back on that thing. It's like instead of just,
But
making
like,
tanky more dynamic, they're like, okay, we're just gonna make it like every other heavy tank.
yeah, exactly. Just
Yeah.
just do that. But like, why don't they just increase the gun sway a bit or whatever?
So that's
But
something I
everyone
suggested.
everyone hated the British stuff though, didn't they? So it's like,
Yeah.
I don't
But
know. I don't know what to do with that. Like
that's the
people are so
thing.
torn.
So last week I was mentioning like they want more realistic mechanics, and the British have the most gun sway ever. So if you moved all of them towards the British, then it would be more realistic. But to Fresh's point, people don't want realism. They want more fun, but they just don't know they want more fun. So I still think I like the gunplay in Hell Loose as is. I wouldn't like more gun sway, but it would naturally, and as it does with the British, slow your gunplay down. You have to slow down. You have to be more grounded and stay still a little more, play a lot more defensive with the British, just because you can't run and gun like you can with every other faction. You just can't.
and this is what I don't get, because Squad are doing that big update, making it way more realistic.
Yeah.
It's quite cool if you're into that sort of thing. But in terms of like skill level, I don't know if it makes the gap between good players and bad players bigger if you make the gunplay harder. Whereas if it's all easier, then that sort of levels the playing field a bit, right?
Bill, it's been forever. What were your thoughts on when they did the update 8? Like when they changed like the hitboxes and the time to kill? Do you remember that? Like for like it
Um,
was like a month, dude. Like then they
I
changed it
thought,
back, so everyone complained. Like what'd you think about that? I know we're like going
um,
back in time.
yeah, that was a bad update, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, but I thought that was like sometimes they died, sometimes it was just inconsistent. And
Do you
it's
think
like,
something like do you think they should keep okay, so do you think Hell Loose gunplay should stay the same where it's like, one shot under 200, you're pretty much dead for most guns? Or do you think they should
it
like
does get a
refine
bit.
something?
Well, that's the thing. No, I think it should stay like that, but I think it should
Mhm.
be harder to shoot people or get shot at or something.
Yeah.
It's basically hit scan to
don't
an
know.
extent at the moment.
Yeah.
Well, it's all fucked up right now. I'm noticing that a lot when I play infantry. Like it's like shots that should kill people don't. You're
Yeah.
like, come on. Like
It's hit
yeah,
rate
it's got,
issues.
That's the-
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Pretty
the thing. When you've got
troublesome.
a car and you shoot someone, it's just
Yeah,
the
they just
speed
take
increase
it
is
and they
really
kill you after.
fucked. Bolt action rifles.
Yeah.
It's always been shit having bolt action rifles.
Yeah, I guess that just fucking nerfs bolt action so much if you do change hitboxes to where it's like say like now you shoot someone in the foot, they die instantly, or the arm or whatever. It's like if you start changing that to where it doesn't, it's like, oof.
Mm.
The U.S. are probably gonna start winning more games here. Maybe we'll see
Yeah.
if that's the way it goes. Because a lot of those car shots, it's like that's what those are.
Yeah. Yeah. But also the SMGs are just filth as well. Like,
Dude, headshot machines.
yeah.
Thompson is
Yeah.
nuts.
Oh, I'm an MP40 guy. That MP40 shreds.
I've
Thompson's just
noticed
like
more.
made me-
Sorry, go ahead.
like getting shot by a Thompson. I'm just like
Yeah.
it's just the sound. I'm like, oh, I just can't do anything. And, you're running
Yeah.
around with your car and just like, and it's
Can't
always like,
see anything.
it's always like, they shoot 29 bullets or however many they've got, and you're like, he's almost out. I can almost, almost shoot him, and
And
it's
he
the
peek-
last fucking bullet that just like dings
Headshots
you,
you
and you're
every
You
like,
got your
time.
one shot too. If you miss that, you're
Yeah.
fucked.
it's just, it's pain.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, gunplay wise, like I like the gunplay in Hell Loose. But I wouldn't be opposed to them making it a little more harder to kill. But they have to look at I think they have to look at balance. Like balance is so important in Hell Loose, I feel. People like things to be realistic, but I don't think you want it as realistic in Hell Loose because then you're gonna have an issue with the British, where the British is just like
Shit.
in
Yeah.
most case scenarios for me, they're just shit. Like I love the guns, I think they're cool, but man, they're bad. Like
Well, it just doesn't work now. Hell Loose has put itself in unless you like get rid of the whole loadout system. Like you can't make a lot of changes. Like if you make it more realistic to where like an SMG kills you in one hit, like it's not gonna be a good time. You have to let them kill you in a few hits with how many there are in there, and that's just because that's the way it is now. Unfortunately,
The weird thing is, like, this is the fourth faction they've got in the game, and they've like with all the Russian stuff, it came out that it was all the same. Too many bolt actions and not enough good guns. There was no AT. It was just the rifle thing, and then they've changed it, and it's like, okay, you've learnt your lesson from the Russians. Do it with the British, and then the British come out and they've all got rifles, and you're like, what the fuck are you doing? And the heavy tank isn't a heavy tank.
Yeah.
It's like a weird heavy tank, and you're like,
I think they
it's
just kind of
copy
rushed
and
that.
paste.
I think they
I
rushed the
don't know.
content out just to have it out. Honestly, I really think they're going to flesh it out over the coming year. Hopefully, the coming year.
see.
But I don't know. I don't know. So, what do you guys think about the future of Hell Loose? I mean, dead game, right?
Dead, absolutely
Dead
So dead.
game.
Dead
I'm gonna go
game.
play Postscriptum after this instead.
I know. You and
with the 70
Bill
other
and-
people in there.
yeah, that's it.
Yep. The one server.
I don't know. I just really think that the year plan is good, and I'm calling it right now. I may be wrong, but I really think they're going to bring the Japanese at some point.
Well, yeah.
Like
They existed in
I
World
don't
War
think
II.
they're doing it this year, though, are they?
No,
thought
no, no,
that
no.
was
here. Maybe like
42, 43?
maybe-
I say 43.
Do you think they wait that
What?
long? I think 41. It's coming.
They're not even in 41, are they? Japanese? I don't think they bombed
No.
Pearl Harbor until
I mean, I don't know. What else are they gonna do in 41?
41
Hang on,
still kind of
what are you
early
talking
war.
about?
I don't know. Just
So-
something like those. That's something there.
So-
What have the years got to do with it? Do they,
So
That's
what they're
what they're
doing,
doing.
yeah, is it's every year, like
Oh.
real year is tied to a year of the war. So this year is 1939, and that's why they're doing Finnish and Poles. So it's
Right.
early war. So like next year would be 1940. So whatever was in 1940, I don't really know. They're saying Italy and France, then Japan. France would be cool. I don't know if
Yeah,
there
I
would be a France faction though. I wouldn't want to invest too much into the small games. I
Oh,
want
God.
bigger
I mean,
games.
you thought the British sucked. Wait till you play the French.
Yeah. well, I mean, it's gonna be the same thing with like the Poles and the Finnish.
How
'cause
do you
they're-
like? Well, when the Japanese come, it's like, how the fuck do you explain that when the Japanese roll these like cardboard tanks out? It's like
I
they
think
take-
at that
they
point,
take the
though,
same amount of shots as the Americans. It's like, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting how they pull this stuff off.
When the Polish be like Operation Market Garden or whatever, they were like Polish people there, weren't they?
yeah, well, yeah. I think were they at
and they
drill?
just used like British guns and stuff.
Pretty much.
Yeah, they're like drill somewhere around there. I think.
Yeah, so I think it'll
Um,
be. I think next year, I think they do Italy. I think that'd be cool. I think Italian would be cool.
Italian
I-
would be sweet.
And I think they do. I mean, Japanese. It would make sense to do Japanese in 41. So I think it'd be 2 years.
Have you guys ever played what's that Italian World War One game? Asanzo?
Played it
Dude,
for like a day, then I never.
If I
touched it
can't
again.
have big
Like every-
mustaches and yell profanities in Italian, I'm out.
Mhm.
that game is great with those like just shouting Italian. It's amazing. I just always put exactly the chef hands. But yeah, Italians would be cool, I think. I just for the Finnish and Poles, I think it's a shame that they're not adding them to Warfare. Because they confirmed that, right? Like they said that they're adding them to small game modes. I think they're gonna be like part of
Yeah.
skirmish. So
We'll
yeah,
see. I have no
Yeah.
idea what to expect at this point.
I think that's what they mentioned because
But
they
I mean-
didn't have tanks and stuff to the extent that the British have or the Germans have.
Going back to your original comment on what do you think? What do you think?
Yeah.
Like Hell Loose in the future? I think it's going to be fine. There's no. What is another World War II game coming out? That's like, I guess there's Resolve or whatever that one game is. We'll see. But I mean, dude, I've been burned. How many games have been hyped up like in the past like 2 years? That like, oh my god, this game's gonna be really good, and then it comes out and you play it for like a day, and the player base dies. No one's nailed what Hell Loose has done yet. It's like you have to admit that Hell Loose has really like hit the sweet spot,
So
and no one's come close.
Yeah.
Burning Lands, although not a World War II game, are claiming they're going to be closer or somewhat closer to Hell Loose and Squad. So
I
it'll
mean,
be
we'll see. I refuse to say anything is going to absolutely dethrone Hell Loose at this point. This
Yeah.
shit just keeps coming out and going, dude.
I don't know how I feel about Burning Lands, to be honest. Like I feel
I
like
mean,
it's a lot of hype.
I don't like Vietnam. I think
I
Could
do
be
like
cool.
Vietnam.
It
I
could be
think
cool. They could
Rising Storm is great.
overcomplicate everything. Like, you know, it's
Yeah.
like.
I think
we'll see.
I just really like World War Two, just
Yeah,
because
me too.
I think they make it's like they're good maps, really. Like
There-
little
I think
French villages, and
There's
you
so
know,
many maps that they could pull from. I think that's what
yeah,
I like about World War II, where Vietnam is like, oh yeah, there's this
jungle.
jungle.
Yeah,
And then
I
you have
feel
this
like
jungle.
Here's a different jungle.
Yeah, and
It could be cool.
games don't do jungles well.
Yeah,
Like,
hey, yeah, you would have problems with Hill 400. Wait till wait till you get in the
Jesus
jungle.
Christ.
No, it could be cool, but it's like I'm so done getting my hopes up for these games. They just keep getting announced and they keep coming and going, dude. Here we are. Everyone keeps coming back to fucking Hell Loose.
yeah.
yeah,
So we'll see.
I think Hell Loose will still be big over time. I really hope.
I think it'll
Uh,
keep getting bigger.
Yeah, I do too. I just really hope that they invest into the net code. I think it's my biggest issue right now. Just
I
the
hope so, dude.
hit reg,
Performance,
the
yeah.
lagging. You know what I really think would be good for Hell Loose, and everyone's gonna cancel me for it. And I mentioned this a while back because I was talking to Social Outcast about it. I think it'd be good if it came on to Game Pass like down the road. I think it'd be great. I
Yeah.
think it'd
didn't
introduce a
they
lot
say
more
that?
people.
Didn't they say they're gonna do Microsoft Store or whatever?
It's
like
in
Windows
Microsoft
or whatever?
Store or
Yeah.
Windows Store, but That's typically, from what I understand, is the first step to be eligible
Yeah.
for Xbox Game Pass. I think that
Oh,
would
dude,
be
I
huge
bet
for
it's
the
Game
Game
Pass.
Pass.
I bet it's Game Pass.
I
Absolutely.
think it would be.
I think it was like free on PlayStation 5.
That's where I got
Yeah.
it.
That's what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
I never even played it. I just got it.
Bruh.
Didn't even-
You need to play with me
on
I've
console,
never even
dude.
installed it. I just claimed it and
God
never
damn it.
installed it.
I really think it would
I've got
be
mates
bigger.
to download it, but I'm like, I'm not.
I
not
can't
gonna
do it.
pay for
Raz,
again.
Raz,
I'm
so
expensive.
Play
the
with me
hilarious thing,
on PS5.
Raz will do this. He'll be like, "You gotta come play console," and then like he'll tell me about playing on console. I'm like, dude, you're giving me like no. Like he'll be like, it was the worst thing ever. Nobody was building garrisons. Everyone's team punched over tanks. But you should totally come do it. It's like, oh my
Dude,
god.
so
Can we
playing on-
actually do it? I think it'd
Yes.
be good. Just get in a tank and destroy everyone.
Thank you, Bill. So
Yeah, we
so
would fucking ruin it. if We
let
showed
me
up
give
there.
you like perception of what tanking on console is. Again, like not every time, but 99% of the time, it's a guaranteed 100 kills and there's no heavies. That's
my
what
God.
Hell Loose on console
Because no one
is.
asked for them or no one understands.
They never spawn heavies. They just always, they're like, oh, you want a tank? Here's a tank. And like, even when I
Oh my
ask, I'm like, I
God.
need a heavy. They're like, oh, no, I have this medium. I'm like, no, do not. They're like, no. And I'm like, please don't. Just whatever you do, give me one heavy and I will never die. But yeah, so I love the bloke on the top right screen. Can you show? Oh, that's Fresh Baked Goods. Sorry, I need to have some nameplates on here. So we have me over here. We have Fresh Baked Goods. They want to see your helmet. Then we have
Oh, it's just a
Wild Bill.
replica. So I was dumb and I'm like, I'm gonna buy this helmet for like, you know, it's like I'm gonna show my face more in videos, but I'm gonna make it cool. And I bought this helmet off Amazon. It's like just an M8 like replica for like $40. But it's too you can't wear it with headphones.
Pop
So it's
it
like
on.
it
We
just-
gotta see
it's
it
just like
Yeah,
sits up
can we
here.
see it?
for the thumbnail. For the thumbnail.
It's like it's just it doesn't work with headphones. So it's like
Wait,
It's-
Bill. You have to be like, you have to give like a crazy reaction for the thumbnail.
yeah, it doesn't work with headphones, so I can't wear it in videos.
All right, that's the thumbnail. Perfect.
So I could
Clicked
do
it.
like pods or something, but I don't know. I don't want to wear those, so it just sits over here.
Too funny. Too funny.
There was that guy. Oh, it was Soundboard, wasn't it? Who used to wear a fucking helmet. in
Yeah, the orange
street.
one.
I think he's like community manager at Burning Lands now. I think.
Yeah.
Funny how people just migrate around.
He's a
Yeah.
funny guy.
Surely
I
those
think you
bastards.
should wear your helmet more, mate. I think you should wear it all the time.
Well, I could just plug in fucking Apple things.
Just get,
and I
like,
could actually
earbuds.
rock it. Yeah,
There you
I
go.
got it.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can just
yeah.
totally do it. It'll just sound weird.
My favorite is the
watch your
steering wheel.
subscriber list just plummet.
Never know. It might go the other way. Who knows?
Did we get the oh, we did the bongo. Did that ever do well? Did you see the bongo video,
people-
Bill? The
I-
bongo
okay.
video?
What are you
You're a
talking
man of
about?
culture, Bill. Did you ever know about GameCubes back in the day? Nintendo GameCubes.
GameCubes, yeah.
So
I had a GameCube.
there was a Donkey Kong game that came out with like a bongo controller, and you can hook that up to your computer.
like drums. Like
Yeah, so it's like
bongos.
little
Oh,
drums.
is it like one of
little
these
drums.
things where you
Like the
play a
Donkey
game?
Kong?
Yeah,
it's
so
like
I
rhythm.
played Tank Gunner with the bongos. It was pretty
It
cool.
was insane. It was
Is
great.
Is it on YouTube?
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't really get a lot of views. Like I don't know,
What?
people didn't seem
It
interested.
was a
I
sleeper.
haven't seen that.
It's
So
iconic.
There's this
Can you
dude
send
out
me it?
there. Yeah, I'll send it to you after this. There's a dude out there that plays Call of Duty, whatever. It's just the game he plays, but he has it set up so he has like a MIDI controller, I think, and he plays the recorder. He plays the whole game through the recorder, so just different tones control everything.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I want to figure that out. I just need to get yeah. I want to play Hell Loose with a recorder. That's like the end goal for this year. I need to figure out how to like
100
Play-
kills with a recorder.
dude, if that's not content, I don't know what is.
I don't know.
So yeah, that's where I got the idea for that because he plays Call of Duty with the bongos. Like, well, I'm just gonna do that with Hell Loose, but it didn't get a lot of views.
Yeah, he does like
maybe,
sniping and stuff with the
yeah,
recorder.
maybe we'll do like a live stream with the bongos.
You
or
should
something.
stick it on TikTok or whatever.
I
Just do
did.
a
It got
He
okay.
did.
People
Yeah.
just talk
Yeah.
shit. They're like, what? They're like, what the
Like,
fuck
why?
is this?
little- What's
yeah.
this fucking game? Yeah.
Yeah,
It's so funny.
Do you have to play it with a bongo?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Totally do.
He did the steering wheel. That video did well back in the day, right? The
That was
steering wheel?
fun. That was actually a lot of fun. Like
Yeah.
doing tank driver with the wheel and pedals.
I remember the last time you did it with the wheels,
Oh,
like we
really?
didn't have it fucking mapped properly.
Yeah,
Like,
because you
kept
gotta like
stalling.
configure it. Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
like
That was
Yeah, it
rough.
gets fucking wild.
We need to do a Puma. Puma. We need to do
A
a
recon
Puma
vehicle?
on with a
Puma.
steering wheel. That'll be
Yeah.
fun. But any final thoughts?
Just hanging out.
Nah, dead game.
Dead
game.
Move on.
Nothing more-
Move on,
yeah.
everyone.
Dead
Nothing to see.
game.
I do
So-
want to try that battle bit.
Oh,
thing.
Everyone's
that
talking
does-
about it.
That looks good,
Yeah.
man. That does look good. 254 players on BattleBit, right?
I hear it's fun.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Maybe that'll be the instead of going to Postscriptum, everyone will probably go to BattleBit. and
Yeah,
then go,
exactly.
This
That's
is
the
more
game.
realistic than Hell Let Loose.
So realistic.
Oh my god. Well, boys, I think we'll go ahead and call it there. Again, thank you so much to Mr. Wild Bill. If you haven't followed his channel, definitely check it out. Link is in the
Bill, can
bio
you give
there.
yourself a round of applause, please?
Hey, there we go. Yeah! Hell yeah, guys. All right, we'll be right back with some more Hella Loose, and we'll be playing some Hella Loose, and we'll get right back to words on stream. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Fresh Baked Goods.
Thank you, everybody.
See you guys right
Cheers.
back. Stay tuned.